invite Dr. Rashmi Noshkar, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata, to present her views. She is specializing in contemporary media and communication studies. She is known for her academic engagement, research contributions, and commitment to advancing emerging perspective in media education.
Thank you. Thank you, Durva. Thank you for that warm welcome. And on the onset, this opportunity to thank Upendra Pari sir, as well as the organizers of NMC, National Media Conclave, for having me invited here. It's an honor, it's a privilege on my part to share this, to share this dais with such esteemed senior academicians, such senior professors out here. I've been a student to many of them, indeed all of them, and it is a true honor, true privilege to have been given this opportunity. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all my senior professors. As I said, my heartfelt gratitude to them, because whatever I've learned, I have learned all from them. So my heartfelt gratitude to each of the senior professors and the very senior academicians here in the panel. Today I take up this topic, and I take up this, ma'am and sir has been covering various aspects of digital, concern and digital vulnerability. Ma'am has been speaking about the challenges, sharing an overview, and sir has been very insightfully sharing his industrial experiences to talk about what are the, the real life situations that we need to be cautious about. I move a little different path, and I also take up a very evolving concern to speak and, to discuss upon. I choose the topic of AI and deep fakes, and particularly focus on the vulnerability issues related with it. Can I have the next slide, please? I've just prepared a small PPT, and I start with just understanding what deepfake is. My first slide basically just helps us understanding, though I'm sure all of us are aware of what deepfake is. Deepfake, well, it is a culmination of two important words. It speaks about deep learning and fake videos which are created. So these deepfake the concept of deepfake basically speaks about AI-generated fake videos which astonishingly look absolutely realistic. And unfortunately, we would, even 2 months back, even 6 months back, what we would think that deepfakes is something, which is a potential threat for us in future. I must correct, and my later slides, I will prove you that deepfake is something which is a major growing concern in today's era. There are a lot of instances which are being reported on deepfake issues, and I'll take them up for discussion. It speaks about the vulnerability that we are often, subjected to. So deepfakes can be easily, be prepared by using the advanced technologies. We can clone the voice, we can clone the facial expressions, we can indeed all of, even without cloning a particular aspect, we can actually have the entire content being synthetically prepared using advanced technologies and so on. And this calls, this should ring the alarm bell very quickly. Indeed, I'll request for the next slide, and I put in a quote. And this quote comes in from a senior executive from McAfee. They are a computer cybersecurity consultant which has to share a lot of survey data. And I'll just quote, I found this important, and the first line very challenging, and therefore I've used it in my slides also. It goes something like this: deep fakes have changed the game for cyber criminals. They no longer are hacking the system, but they are hacking the human trust. And this is a matter of concern when our human trust is being put into consideration. In particularly, this is a major concern in the Indian context, because somewhere we know that the Indian subcontinent, or particularly, given the demographies of our country, we are particularly people who spend a lot of time on social media platforms, and at the same time, we are popularizing, and we are always getting absorbed with the celebrity endorsement factors which happen. So easily, therefore, the situation in India, particularly given our sort of a demographical status quo, where half of the population of the country still is not fortunate enough to receive literacy, we often fall a prey, we often fall a victim to these people who have to fabricate their contents and sell it to us, and we think them to be genuine videos, a matter of concern, and we start circulating them over social media and so on. So somewhere, because of our sort of, I think, again, these two important parameters, the fact that the population is very vulnerable because we are not that skilled, we are not that equipped with the possibility of understanding and identifying what is original and what is fake. And secondly, because we have a huge population, surfing and spending time over social media, that we often fall a prey to deepfakes. And probably this is the reason, as a researcher, I take up this subject of going and, exploring this in greater details. Thank you. And I'll request for the next slide. Indeed, the next slide is just, I've just highlighted a particular news. And I've also underlined that with red so that it's quite obvious. AI has made it hard to spot what is genuine and what is fake. And therefore, we become susceptible to various scams and so on. I request for the next slide. And this is to scare you all further, because this slide takes you through the various statistical data, the relevant data that I have collected from a survey done by the cybersecurity consultancy firm called McAfee. And I'll spell out because the data are really scary. It says that 75% of Indians are reported to have encountered deepfake content in the previous 12 months. So it's something, it is there. Deepfake and the allied challenges with deepfake is no more a potential threat waiting for us in future, but it is very much, we are already into the trouble zone where we are, there are so much of a population already encountering issues of deepfake. There are at least 38% of respondents who said that they have been targets of deepfake scam. There are at least 22% of those who say that they have come across political deepfakes and later turned out, it was a fake video obviously, so later it turned out to be false. And 30% of the respondents felt confident that they could distinguish between AI-generated voice or media from the real content. Only a few limited, the 30%, specifies that very few people are skilled to actually distinguish between what is authentic and what has been synthetically generated and so on. There is one more interesting observation which I would definitely like to draw your attention, and that goes about speaking from the point of celebrity endorsements, the point that I started with. We share this over-fascination with this celebration over-hype being created. And there is a clear statistic which shares, celebrities are often misused in fake endorsements. And, we have often heard of big celebrities, like whether it's Shah Rukh Khan, whether it's Alia Bhatt, whether it is Ranveer Singh, whether it's Rashmika. We've seen how deepfake videos of them have been going viral, and they've been used to actually play, with their popularity. They have an image, they enjoy huge popularity, and that is what the cyber hackers have to make use of. I would request the next slide. And now I move you giving more concrete data. And I've just picked up a few of the case studies, which have been hitting headlines. Not very, very old, as I said. It's very recent phenomenon, and just picked up a few of them. The first two of them speak about the financial fraud scams that we have often seen, deep fake videos regarding, financial consultant, and promotion of private financial apps. And there were these deep fake videos of NSC CEO. I mean, he also was not spared, and they were fabricated, manipulated videos which had to promote that, he was actually trying to provide some sort of an investment advice. And later he came to the public to bring to the attention that the video was absolutely fabricated and, falsely done, fakely done, and so on. Just following, issues of his concern when he started hitting the headlines, we soon see the CEO of BSE, and we see MD Sundaraman Ramamurthy also coming up with serious such issues, where he also raised concern that there were a lot of deep fake videos made for him. And again, trying to lure people to invest into financial issues, into financial, use certain financial apps, that was, which he had genuinely not recommended, and so on. So, two of them which speak about financial, I've just picked up two case studies, but if you actually look and delve into, you will see some similar sort of deep fake videos which are being circulated. I mean, again, the CEO of RBI has been accused of, propagating financial investments being done, which he again denies to do, and so on. I would request the next slide, please. And now I speak about the celebrity endorsements. We also have seen much of this, and we've also witnessed this. We've been traumatized because these celebrities again took up the platform to actually let the public know, let the mass know that they were not actually the people who've been, seen in the video. And to start with, I've just picked up one instance of Rashmika, where, there were these deepfake videos of her created, circulated instantaneously on Instagram. And later it was said that her face was morphed and it was cloned. And, even the people who have been doing it, the hackers who've been doing it, they have been arrested, and so on. So celebrities are also not to spare. And taking the cue forward, can I request the next slide, which has to speak about another very famous celebrity figure. I myself is a big fan of him, Ranveer Singh, and we've again seen a lot of rounds of fake videos being circulated where he's seen to criticize the Honorable Prime Minister, and later he comes up to the public saying that it was absolutely fake. And there was a lot of, if you observe that video, it will show that lip syncing and the irregularities by which it was very easily identified, the people who tried putting in those deep fake videos, and so on. I'll request for the next slide. Now moving from the, glamour industry, I move down to a more serious context, and I speak about the various political people who have also not been spared in the process of, manipulation and fabrication. And the first person is none other than the Prime Minister himself. There have been a lot of fake videos, deep fake videos, some of which has been satirical in tone in addressing several issues. He has been, in one video, he has been even shown to have participated in a Garba dance, and later he laughed and mocked at it, and he said that I've never probably done like this even in my school days, and so on. Other than this, there have also been, allegations where he has been trying to promote investment, private investment apps, and so on, and therefore, again, an issue of concern. I mean, the Prime Minister is also not safe in this current digital ecosystem. Can I request the next slide? None other than, our finance minister. And we speak about, there have been a lot of issues where, again, particularly when there was this GST being, when we were trying to, when the government of India was trying to implement the GST, I mean, there were a lot of fake videos of her going and circulating and saying that GST is again something which is going to mislead people, and it was indeed, there was an altered name. It was called Gopaniya Suchna tax, which was actually, that's how GST was renamed, and, there was a new version of it, and later she came up to the public, and there have been much amount of deepfake analysis unit, which have later said that her voice was cloned using AI technology, and the deepfake videos of hers were actually prepared and circulated. So none of the people, it goes about, whether it is the politicians, whether it's the celebrities, or whether it is the big financial, advisors. None of us somewhere is safe. Sir has been speaking just before me, talking about how vulnerable even, if they are not safe, we are more vulnerable. And that is exactly what Sir has also been emphasizing in his speech, in his deliberation, when he said that how social media and using of, dispersing informations for logging into and making, downloading several social media apps, how risky it is for every citizen. So that rings the alarm bell very strong. I mean, if people of prominence and eminence are not, spared, then we also will not be spared. Can I request of the next slide? And here is what I point out. This is particularly to speak why we should be concerned, and some very important observations that I've kept, particularly in terms of when we speak about fake videos, when we are speaking in cases of deep fake videos, we are talking about misinformations and fake informations and disinformations being created, which is absolutely, creating intentionally wrong informations and misguiding people. And that's ethically just not accepted a format of communication. So we should be concerned about deep fake videos and deepfake, the various challenges that come out of it, because definitely there are a lot of wrong informations that get spread amongst the society people because of, if we fail to control the circulation of deepfake videos, we will definitely see a lot of information which is absolutely fabricated, which is absolutely manipulated, and has nothing to do with reality. We also should be concerned about deepfake videos because, as I said, if political people and even the celebrities, there have been viral videos which have been going where they speak about, say take for example the instance that I showed about Ranveer Singh's video. Ranveer Singh, when he ultimately turns up, first he criticizes Narendra Modi, secondly he goes about asking the people, tells them to vote for Congress. So somewhere what we get subjected to is what we speak in terms of election manipulation. So that again should be a strong area of concern for all of us. Financial scams, that is the third thing that I highlight in my slide. It talks about how I've used instances and I've told you how people, get succumbed, general citizens, lay citizens like people like you and me, particularly the rural population. We fall a victim to all such financial scams which get circulated on the social media, and hence we should be concerned about deep fake videos in relation to financial scams which get circulated. And the major concern, the public trust is being broken. I mean, even Shashwati ma'am was speaking about this major concern. We should be concerned about this because we are losing to trust, and having the faith that we genuinely would have on mediated platforms. She spoke about the gatekeeping scenario getting slowly broken down, and probably this can be dangerous, when people lose trust and faith. Whom to believe? That is now becoming very difficult, a question to answer, and so on. Can I request the last slide? And that's just some mechanisms that I have putting together some basic fundamental things which we can do to keep ourselves protected, falling victim or falling prey to deepfake videos. And first definitely comes in terms of being education. It speaks about public awareness. It speaks about the importance of digital literacy. My other senior colleague members also spoke about this. It speaks about people growing cautious and let's become skeptical of what we see. You know, we are in the age of social media, which speaks about instantaneous, sharing possibilities. And without a second's thought, without even stopping for a second, we go about hurriedly sharing videos and all deepfake videos that have to be generated. We don't stop to ask the question as to whether the video is something which is authentic, who has created the video, what is the purpose of the video. We've lost questioning ourselves. We've lost the art of being or doing critical analysis, and that's the need of the hour. For which we need education, for which we need to create awareness amongst the public who often falls a victim to it. Also, along with it, we need to encourage people to use and to teach them also to a great extent, motivate them to check out with various fact-checking websites. There are a lot of options like the Boom Live, the Alt News. There are multiple number of them. Like there is Factly, which can be used if there is something which seems skeptical. Let's stop. Let's pause for a second. Let's do some amount of crucial thinking, critical thinking. Let's do some analysis and then only continue to find whether this is genuine before we blindly accept the fact and so on. Also, it's important, and the next points that I point out is particularly from the perspective of the deepfake detection tools. There are a lot of deepfake detection tools also which are available. However, from the context of Indian perspective, there's much challenge that we pose, having such a huge population and educating them, literating them with deepfake detection tools, and making them skilled enough to identify definitely lies a major challenge. I would also speak about issues and important concerns that the social media should also be concerned about. It's social media organization, the social media's handles should be aware of what is being shared, and there should be some amount of monitoring, some amount of labeling, some amount of flagging deepfake content, so that people who are receiving those knows that it is synthetically prepared, and it's being prepared using technologies of the advanced latest technologies, and these are not something which are to be blindly believed or blindly accepted, and so on. And last but not the least, we need to have policy intervention. We need to speak in terms of, legal actions, legal formations. The worst thing is, even though I had so much of statistics to share about the growing instances of deep fake instances being reported in India, but however, we don't have any particular, legal provision to handle such sensitive issues. Even if there is a case, like take for example any of these cases which speaks about a person of name and fame being defamed, we have it usually handled under the law of defamation. Ideally, we should have some legal provisions for dealing with the deepfake issues and so on. Usually, it gets somewhere we negotiated with it, we try to identify the cause and deal it with the general provisions that the IT Act has to leave. But there has to be something with the growing concerns over deepfake media and the easy possibility of technology in generating so easy contents. This is really something which is the need of the hour, that we have legal provisions and policy intervention to actually protect, to keep ourselves protected, to keep the countrymen protected, and so on. And on this note, I finish. I again take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been a patient listener to what I've been trying to share, and my gratitude to all the senior academicians present here. Thank you.